OK，今天呢非常高兴，我的同学竟然给哈老师面子，昨天返校到我的办公室里看哈老师，他的爸爸妈妈、弟弟在我的办公室里跟哈老师掰手腕，Yes or no，right？William 梁跟哈老师共同学习，是他的7岁8岁在 Renard 的校园里，我们当时共同学习的几个男孩都在 UT Austin。你是学什么专业的，William？
computer science.
Yeah, you are doing computer science. Arthur is doing what?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Finance. You guys need to get along. 然后还有一个白人的小男孩，你可能是忘了。Why? What happened? OK，还有另外一个小男孩，其他的同学需要 mute 一下。OK，好。Felix coming，我的学生越来越多的回来了。OK，很高兴呢，William 愿意把他的人生经验和我们分享。然后呢，今天呢，我们会让 William 跟我们聊一下 from the very beginning 最早学习的历程。我现在呢，跟他的爸爸妈妈在聊的时候，每一个人的学习历程都是非常难的，从小学、中学，从他的小学、中学、高中，William 有一个非常特殊的一个情况，他呢非常 independent，然后他的 high school 是在 Marine Academy，然后他是全学校第1名毕业的，代表全学校的毕业生做一个演讲。而且还有一个非常特殊的一个情况呢，他原来是想去伦敦和剑桥、牛剑，还有 Military Academy 海军军官学校，这些都申请了之后，回到了我们的 UT Austin Computer Science。今天我会用这个机会跟 William 梁，一个小男孩，奶声奶气的，瘦高的个子，然后现在比哈老师高1头，炸1倍，非常 strong 的一个 young man，想起了我看一个电影叫日本的海军军官学校培养出的 strong powerful young men。昨天见面的时候给我一个非常强的 impression，目光的坚定，语言的逻辑性，也就是说，我非常大的一个感慨，从一个小屁孩变成了一个，不论在什么办公室里边，无论在任何的一个 boarding school，无论在任何的一个大公司的 conference 开会的时候，每个人对他要有 attention，要有一个尊敬。我觉得这是我们教育的一个目的。Of course, we are going to conduct our interview in English for the benefit of everybody. And in the Q&A, we are not going to record. We do this program for 2 things. Number one, William Liang have a wonderful little brother. Of course, brother, they have a sibling rivalry. But your little brother look up to you. He's still study with me. Since 5th grader, he tolerates me till right now. We are determined to bring him to the wonderful university like you. And whatever advice you have for your little brother, I'm going to implement it. How about that? So you are giving a legacy to your little brother and my wonderful students like Felix, Connor from Canada, Felix in Houston, my students in Florida and all over the world. So welcome, William. Tell everybody about yourself. You were born in Texas, yes or no?
Yes, sir. My name's Will, or you can just call me Will. I was born in Houston. Pretty much lived here my whole life. Uh, yeah.
So when did we meet each other? Can you remember? Do you have a little bit of a small recollection about first time we meet? how do you tolerate me, this old guy, for so long? Why?
Uh, dang, I don't really remember to be honest. Probably like back in elementary school, maybe like
Yeah,
fourth, fifth
elementary.
grade.
Mhm.
I thought you were a crazy person. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah, that's
just because
good.
like you looked a little crazy,
Yeah,
but
you
yeah.
talk to me for what? Because you do
So again,
project, we do wonderful, crazy project together. For example, science. You and your friends make atom bomb together. Do you remember your elementary school? What is your name of your elementary school? You were in HISD, yes or no?
yeah,
Do
yep.
you do you have a pleasant memory of your elementary school or no?
I had a good time in elementary school
Why?
because like everybody was really close. We had good teachers.
Mhm.
Uh, things are just like from what I remember, it's just like really smooth. Like you could have like everybody in your grade were really like close knit, and I mean that's what happens when you like do 5 years of 5 years of school with as children. So to me, those are like experiences that I really could never forget about.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And now we move very far. Did you experience any bullying in school? Yes or no? In elementary school first.
Elementary school, no. Like for
Mhm.
me, not at all.
Because you are a relatively stronger boy with more
No.
muscle. No?
I was skinny as I can't use profane words, but I was super skinny.
Oh,
Uh,
mhm.
I was pretty skinny, but I was pretty smart at the same time. So I felt like, and I also like playing sports. We always play basketball and soccer, and I was
Mm.
pretty good at sports. So I say, uh, being somewhat athletic and being somewhat academically gifted definitely, helps you a lot, when getting to know people.
You were in the gifted and talent program, did you? Yes or no?
Yep.
You test into it, right? At that time, I was supposed to teach gifted and talented kids, and then that's why you were in my class. Do you remember Jamie? That little
Yeah.
dude? He's the most,
Jeremy. Yeah.
you remember, you are still friends or no? At that time, you guys are how old? 7 year old, 8 year old?
Uh, pretty young. I want to say like 8 or 9. But I also knew him beforehand because our parents are like friends.
Yeah.
So
Your
yeah,
parents are very good friends, so you guys play with together, and we meet in my little office in Renard campus every Saturday or Sunday. I forgot, for 2 or 3 hours, and we have a soccer field, right? You remember the soccer field?
yep,
So you study a little bit and play soccer together, running like a crazy, and sometimes run into some little fight. And some of your students are all in UT Austin, and I think your classmates at that time, 2 or 3 in UT Austin, and your Jamie in UK, right?
yeah.
Which university do you remember?
He goes to I think Imperial College of London.
Imperial College of London，帝
Pretty
国理
good.
工大学就是英国的 MIT，他比你小1年级，right？I
Yeah,
remember very well when you guys are 7 or 8 year old, we studied biology, physics, 118 chemical elements, and all this kind of crazy stuff. Especially you and Jamie, I teach you guys JFK assassination. Do you still remember the 5 series of JFK assassination? And you guys make a wonderful presentation about which theory make more sense in terms of possibility. Which one is more possible? Nobody knows. Probably Donald Trump knows, and he's supposed to release the document, but he didn't. Not yet, but I'm very curious. We studied 5 theory from PBS and other elements, and you did a wonderful presentation. And you and Arthur and Jamie made a wonderful presentation about a structure of atom bomb. And your wonderful grandmom from your mother's side, she was a model, okay, the best teacher in the city of Guangzhou. Make sense? And she helped me to organize a summer camp and teach you guys Chinese calligraphy, science, mathematics, literature, mix everything together. You guys had a good time. You have to admit it. So I at least have a good time, and I have so many videos about our summer camp together. So tell us about your middle school, Lanier, if I remember correctly. It's another GT program in HSD. Tell me anything of your recollection in the school, very famous school of Lanier. Go ahead.
It was very different, I'd say. Like they're first of all, like Lanier is pretty far away from Herod.
Mm-hmm.
So going to that school, like, not a lot of people from elementary went to that middle school. So it was definitely kind of like a new experience. Um, School wise, like it's actually like pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, because it's one of like the oldest middle schools in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like I don't know about now, but back in the day, it was like actually really renowned for being a really academically gifted school.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt really blessed to be able to go there. And obviously some of the people that I met there, great people. But yeah, um it was also like a phase where I was trying to figure out myself more.
Yes.
So I'd say like during middle school, you know, I was still like academically on the same page, but I also realized like there were levels to certain things, like for example, athletics. So
Good
yeah,
job.
that's how I would summarize up my time.
Mm-hmm. I remember, I think your parents gave you a very higher level of expectation. And since you're the first son of the family, do you think at that time your parents gave you a lot of pressure or no pressure? Do you have any conflict with them?
Definitely,
Definitely
I'd
yes
say
or no.
yeah, because
Definitely yes. Tell me.
yeah,
It's
you're
okay.
also
We
you're
are,
also
we
going
are
through
all my
puberty at
friends, so we are okay.
that time.
Tell me some examples and so on and so forth.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna backtrack and I was gonna say like during middle school, like you're usually going through like puberty and whatnot. So that also like kind of like messes with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask two questions. Number one, academically, you're very good. You are in the given talent program. Lanier at that time is almost the equivalent of a TH Rogers, right? It's the TH Rogers level and a little lower. Okay, don't allow your little brother to bother you. Okay, and because I'm still controlling him, I'm still teaching him. He's a wonderful student of mine. Okay, now talking about the linear time, my very strong recollection is one summer you take a bus from your home near medical center to my office in Chinatown, and you take a bus in and out. I don't remember any parents allow a middle school students to take a bus. Do you have any recollection? Did you learn anything? What's your experience? What you observe from the bus? And your parents are using the same method on your little brother.
Okay.
Take the
Um.
bus, come to my office, and I ask your brother to observe everybody on the bus and write them down and give me assessment of the people you meet. Do you have any recollection? It's a very important educational experiment. Your wonderful parents actually allow you as a middle school students to take an adventure of the trip and make an effort to study. I think at that time I gave you a lot of pressure. No, I may regret it. I may not. Go ahead.
Yeah. Definitely. Riding the bus was interesting sometimes, but also at the same time, like it wasn't really like a challenge to me
Wow.
because I feel like first of all, like, there comes to a point in life where you can't be hand walked to do everything on your own.
Hmm.
And I think I found that out in middle school for sure. Like I started doing a lot of things like on my own, like because my parents are busy, like you got
Yeah,
to take
please.
the bus back home. Excuse
Mhm.
me. Um, yeah, I would say like it actually came like pretty easy because uh I also used to do like uh choir. So we would also like go on trips and tours and whatnot. And I'd be
Mhm.
away from home and I'd have to, you know, take care of myself and do a lot of stuff on my own. So I would say like during that period, riding the bus wasn't like a challenge. I think the challenge was just like getting to where I got to be on time because if you live in Houston, like our public transportation isn't amazing.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'd have to wait like 30 minutes for a bus, for example, and that's a bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie, but I'd say like the people on the bus, you're definitely gonna have like a fair share of like your homeless people, your uh, crazy people, uh, and stuff like that. But you kind of just got to learn how to deal with it, really, because at the end of the day, it's public transportation. You know, if to get to point A and to get to from point A to point B, sometimes you gotta encounter some so-called difficulties. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. So that's why my educational method in terms of education of you and Jamie is that I work closely with both of your parents and Jamie's parents. I remember very closely when you tell me on the bus, you see homeless people and definitely drug users, right? So they are
yeah,
acting weird and crazy. And we talk about what happened in Lanier and the other schools, whether there's a crazy things happening and whether there's a drug issues in school, and your parents allow me to we talk about the drug using in the United States and whether marijuana should supposed to be legalized in the United States. We have a debate. So we have a wonderful discussion, but I have to have the permission and encouragement from your parents. They all trust you guys as independent mind of people. So you make your own decisions that will help you guys to be more independent minded. I think in most of the school, if the teacher teach you like that, they will get fired. Yes or no? Right?
yep.
Okay, they will get fired. So we have the independent research because method because your parents trust me and you guys somehow trust me, and we do independent study. I don't give you any point of view that you have to accept. You make your own decision, but you guys know the consequence of drug using or so on and so forth. That's why in the high school you go to what your high school. Go ahead. Why your parents
My high school.
why yeah, go talk about your high school experience.
Uh, okay, so I went to this military boarding school called Marine Military Academy. It's located down south in the city of Harlingen. So it's pretty close along the Mexican border in an area called the Valley. And yeah, I did 4 years there. It was definitely a very interesting place to be. So I would say that, and it's definitely not your average boarding school, because
Mm-hmm.
it is based around the military, the United States Marine Corps, and it's not for the faint-minded. You really got to be a mentally strong person to be able to, first of all, be away from home for an extended period of time, and also, to follow a rigid schedule that they imply for you every single day.
uh Give me some examples so I can have a mental picture of your daily routine. What is your biggest challenge? Why you have to tell me the good side of the school, the bad side of school, the ugly side of school. Why didn't you recommend your own school to your little brother James, who is
Okay.
currently ninth grader? He's currently in a private school, in a Catholic private school. as a big brother, why you didn't recommend this school to your little brother? Go and give me some interesting story.
So, shoot, I don't even know if I can say no stories on here, but I'll try to. I'll start by like giving like a little bit of like a schedule. So, for example, on the weekdays, you gotta wake up 6 a.m. every single morning, right? So you get up 6 a.m., you get out of your bed into the hallway, you gotta do a roll call or report. So basically just to do a little head count. And then you have about 15 to 20 minutes to first make your bed, brush your teeth, get your room squared away, and change into PT, which is physical training gear,
Mm-hmm.
to go outside. You know, you get outside at 6:20. You're either doing a PT or you're doing a close arm drill. So if you're doing close arm drill, you're getting into uniform basically. So your camis, you're either doing learning how to cock a weapon, or you're just doing PT, physical training. So you're running like 4 miles a day, doing 3 sets of 20 pull-ups, et cetera, et cetera. And once you do that, around 6:45, 7 o'clock, you get your breakfast. Everybody gets in, breakfast, gets out, probably like 20 minutes to eat. You go back to the barracks, change, get ready for school, get everything for your bags. And school is a 6 period system, so you do 4 periods in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Uh, you get all the bags at around 8 o'clock. The whole battalion, so every single company of cadets, uh, you get out, you march, go do the colors, which is basically the national anthem
Mm-hmm.
and colors for the morning, so the raising of the flag. And then class start at 8:30. You get classes until 12, so 8:30 to 12, 4 periods, and you have a 5-minute passing period in between each class. Then at noon, you pretty much drop your bags off in front of your barracks, and you line up to march to the mess hall, dining hall. You get lunch, and then you pretty much have from 12:30 to around like 1:15 to go eat lunch. Get your bags, go to your last 2 periods of the day, which those classes at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. And then from 3 p.m. to 3:30, you got 30 minutes to get changed out of your uniform, back into physical gear, to either go do sports or any like club activities. So, for example, I would do soccer, tennis, track, cross country, one of those four, every afternoon from 3:30 to 5. So you're required to do an hour and a half, some type of sport or club activity, and then get back to your barracks at 5, shower, clean yourself up for like 30 minutes, get out, you march to the mess hall again, get dinner. Dinner could be anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes. So basically, you get back at 6:30, 6:40, and you have basically until 9 p.m. to go do your work. So from 6:30 to let's say 9, you're doing schoolwork, going to the library, fixing yourself up, fixing your room up. And then at 9 p.m., everybody's just cleaning your room, cleaning the barracks, doing the mop and whatnot. And then your room gets inspected. There's obviously a lot more that I can get into, but I'm just trying to give a broad idea of what life was like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, like basically from 9 to 10, that's when you're cleaning up everything else. You go to bed at 10, or you should go to bed at 10, but some people they've got more academically rigorous
Wow.
schedules, so they might spend another 2 hours studying or doing work, and yeah, you rinse and repeat that 5 out of the
So you
seven
have
days.
no time to play video game if you want to, if you have a
No,
video game
they
addiction,
don't.
you have no
They
time
don't
to
let you have
play.
phones.
Yeah. Oh,
They don't let
all
you.
your phone is gone. Okay.
Yeah, they
Wow.
don't let you have your phone during the week. Also, the computers, they're like filtered or blocked, or like there's like a lot of websites that they block. So there's
Wow.
really like not a lot of entertainment that you can do besides like excuse me,
That's you. Mm.
besides like maybe like going ESPN and like just like check the scores, but that's there's not a lot you can do.
Hmm. How's the food there? Do they feed you guys well, or is okay, or is horrible?
Oh, the food, it really depends on the day. I think
Uh-huh.
the food sucks.
Oh, you think the food sucks? Okay, compared with
I
your
think the food
parents
sucks.
cooking. Your parents
Yeah,
definitely,
it's not even like yeah, parents cooking is like for sure like real good. So
well, yeah, because your family have a very higher level of food culture, so I don't think they feed you guys very well. There was a when I read history, why the British people build the British Empire, and now they have an American Empire is they have bad food. The Italians and French and the Chinese have good food because they concentrate more time on the food and the eating culture. So the martial culture getting weakened. So I'm very glad when I see your graduation ceremony from your academic school, your parents very proudly sending me all the pictures and the video I share in my group, and make me very proud because here is my students. I see you when you are 7, 8 year old as a boy who cannot stand still, right? And very skinny. And then your facial expression is very strong and you sit up upright with muscle and with a seriousness and a determination. I know this young man, nobody dare to bully him, only me for a little while. Okay, maybe even not me, not even right now. I cannot intimidate you. And if you don't want, you don't want to intimidate other people, nobody can bully you anymore, and you can organize your life very well. And now talk about a very interesting topic. My students here will be interesting, like Felix, and they are going to ask you a question. My wonderful student Felix Connor from Canada, Jason, who is your little brother's friend, and Angelique, who is also ninth grader, and they are going to eventually apply for college, right? I think your parents have a very high expectation. You already have a very strong idea what you want to do, and you travel to UK. Your parents bring you to UK and give you the exposure of all these wonderful universities, and you visit continuously all over the United States. I remember Navy Academy in where? Which city? Maryland, right? Ann Arbor. And tell me about what do you think? What your parents think? And why you finally go to UT Austin? What is the other option? Especially, I am very curious about Jamie in the Imperial College of London. And what's your impression of London and Oxford and Cambridge? If your brother want to go there, what's your suggestion? What we can do together to get there? And any reflection, lesson you learned, you can tell Angeli, Felix, Connor. Go ahead. Any
that's a lot. That's a lot of
That's a
stuff.
lot of questions. Yes.
Um, well, I guess to start, like I had a good amount of options, not like the craziest amount. Like I had UT, obviously, I had A&M. I had a USC, the University of Southern California.
University of Southern California. I'm
I
glad
had
you're not here. A lot of rich kids,
yeah,
enjoy
I
life.
had a say again.
Uh, your parents complain too many rich kids just enjoy their life on the seashore and they're showing off their wonderful cars, stuff like that. Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of
I'm
true.
glad you are not in California.
Yeah,
Understanding you, California is a very bad choice, would be a very bad choice. My personal prejudice. Go ahead, keep on going.
but yeah, like I just picked UT because it's I had a scholarship, no full ride. I was blessed to graduate at the top of my class, and I would say I would say like it's definitely good being close to home, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also good to just like be pick a school that's, you know, it's good for your desires. You know, you feel comfortable on the campus, especially, and you feel good for the city. So, for example, I know you wanted me to talk about London for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really like London because, first of all, London has a great public transportation system. You know, you can get to a lot of places really easy. Transportation is really easy, and I would say that's kind of similar to Austin. You know, like Austin, things are like pretty good. Like the public transportation is actually way better than what we have in Houston. Um, and obviously, like, I'm gonna bring my car to Austin because it's like actually like somewhat close
Mm-hmm.
from here. But like, if I went to USC, right, I probably like I don't want to be driving 2 days to get from my crib to wherever I'm living in California. So I would say definitely keep in mind of like little things that you might want out of college, and obviously like you know you just gotta know if you feel comfortable on campus. I feel like the 40 acres really comfortable. Things aren't crazy far from each other. I can get from my apartment to the gym, to the school gym in
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes, 8 minutes walking. So always just
Basically,
consider.
so basically, you are very satisfied, happy with Austin as a city and UT as a university so far. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any, I always ask you good side, bad side, and ugly side, and whatsoever. And, share me more story. And one more story you didn't explain very well because I cut you off. How did you end up, number one, in your whole high school Marine Academy? I know it's not that tough academically. It's pretty tough, but not that tough as other school like St. John's or Kincaid or even Alti. But be the number one of the whole grade is still a big honor. That probably gave you the scholarship in UT Austin and also other experience. And I don't know anything about the Navy Academy. I only watched one movie. It's a very impressive movie. And tell me something about that because many of my students, high school students here, are going to be interested. And then we talk about UT Austin. Go.
Okay. So you want the good and the bad and the ugly of high school?
Yeah, high school. Yeah. And how did you
Okay.
end up being the number one? And because I know as a boy, I know you are disciplined, but not that disciplined, right? Right?
Sure.
You can have your strangeness, you think I'm
Sure.
a crazy person, you have your craziness. And how did you end up disciplining yourself? And is there any curse word in your dormitory fight? Did you get into any fight or any drug issues in your school? Go.
Okay. So I'll start with the good.
Yeah.
So the good about the school is some of the people that you meet there.
Yeah.
They're really good people, and
Mhm.
they also have like they also know people in relatively like high positions of power, and you also meet a lot of people from around the world. So I'll start by saying like over the summer, right? I took a I took a solo trip. I went on a trip around the world, and so in most of
Wow.
the places that I visited, I had a friend from school that I knew. So for example,
Wow.
when I went to Vietnam, I had 5 friends from Vietnam that was waiting for me there. When I went to Dubai, I had 3 friends from Dubai just waiting for me from our school. When I went to Mexico, there's like 30 people from Mexico that I know. So the good thing about a boarding school is that you'll definitely visit a lot of internationals and a lot of friends that you'll make for life. And especially when you go visit their country, they'll give you some immense hospitality. Um, Also like the teachers there are like really good for
Okay, you can take some time
what they do.
drinking something and getting a napkin because allergy time
Yeah,
in Houston. It's a
give me a second.
allergy time in Houston. It's okay. It's you can take a 3 minutes break and let me reflect a little bit on my wonderful students. He have his challenges. No kids growing up have an easy time. Definitely, this wonderful kids have his challenge. And maybe next week, I will interview his wonderful parents who has been supporting me for the last 8-9 years. And his little brother is still, James, still working with me. And he's a wonderful experience of visiting UK, Cambridge, and Oxford. He almost get there. And he didn't even tell me. I know his parents were telling me he was traveling in Japan independently, Italy, and I was very jealous. And actually, he's meeting up all his buddies all around the world. And of course, he got a scholarship, so he have very good excuse to spend his parents' money, traveling all over the world. And that ritual called walkabout, you yourself go around and explore the world. That itself was a 4 years college experience. I admire you for that. I think that journey started from your parents allow you to take an individual bus, wait for half an hour, travel 45 minutes in the heat of Texas sun, go to my office, being roasted by me, right? So we roast each other, right? And then you take a bus to go home, exploring the wildness of Texas. Tell you the truth, it's quite an adventure taking a Texas bus because you have drug addicts and everything. If you can handle that, and you handle 4 years of Marine Academy, how many PT did you do? You do so many PT, and sometimes you probably get punished by the instructors. And probably he don't want to tell me too much about a fight, a bully in the school, but all these pressures build a fellowship, brotherhood. I think, once you are Marine, you are brother forever. Do you guys have that kind of sense of brotherhood, even though you probably fight in high school, but you won't hate each other, right? You will give each other hospitality once you visit your family, for example. Yes or no, right? Tell us these stories, because nobody knows, even your parents don't know that this kind of story, but you trust your teacher. Go ahead. Yeah. Any story you'll share with me.
Like there's definitely been like fights for sure. Like I mean I've gotten into a couple fights like myself, but I would say like yeah, definitely like it makes like this is like crazy to say, like it actually makes like people a little bit closer when you fight with one another, because like our school is like it's like a pretty masculine school, there's no women, no females there. So if you can show people that you're tough, like
Yes.
people will like definitely respect you, in a way, unless like you get like completely blown out the water. But that's like a different story. But it's
What
really just like,
percentage? Tell me the statistic. What percentage of students drop off? They cannot tolerate it and then they disappear.
well, it's not even the fact that people drop out. It's just like the fact that they do something that breaks the rules.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wow.
Like there's rarely ever like a scenario where you drop out because you're academically doing so bad. I would say it's like if people get caught with drugs, people get caught like trying to run away and stuff like
Wow.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so those are the more like realistic things that have happened to where people have tried to run away, that people have gotten kicked.
Wow.
So
So these kids get kicked out of the school because the drug, smoking,
yeah,
maybe, vaping. That
a
would be.
lot. Yeah, a lot of the stuff, a lot of that stuff.
So how did you survive that kind of a challenge and learning life's lesson and getting to number one? And you didn't follow their example to get into the habit of drug, cigarette,
Mhm.
fighting, and drop out. You didn't give your parents the trouble. How? Where did you learn the responsibility? Where is the sense of responsibility? Like yesterday, I was so happy you were in my conference room. And I take a look of you, 5 seconds. I know this guy. are going long ways. Okay. And if I see anybody who are using drugs, who are dropping out, who are not going to be successful in society, 5 seconds, I know them. But I know you are there. That's why I invite you. I'm very glad you are here and you are giving your life's lesson to your brother and wonderful kids like Felix. Okay. Go ahead. How academically you end up number one? You're not that smart. You're smart, but you're not that smart.
Um, I'll actually go like a little further back. So I'll go to middle school, right?
Yes.
So during middle school, I was in your program, and the one thing I always notice is like the stuff that I'm learning it's like a step or two steps ahead of what everybody else is learning in
2
middle
steps
school, right?
ahead of everybody else. Felix, write that down. That's so successful. That's so important for your success. Before you learn something, you're 1 step, 2 steps beforehand. Before you do the SAT, before other people do the SAT, you do that already. Before other people do Algebra 1, you do Algebra 2. Read these very difficult classical books like Shakespeare. I was teaching Shakespeare to you when you are 10-year-old. The whole book, Merchant of Venice. Even if you forgot, it's already deep down in your memory because I am asking you to read the whole I am the Jew speech. Once you can do that, you can handle important high school. I remember your parents organizing our whole group going to the Shakespeare Festival during the summer. Since then, it's become a ritual. That is 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of the curve. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for giving this message to your little brother because I'm right now teaching him Harvard first year world history. And he complained. Of course he complained. He's being a boy. Why not he complain? But once he can several steps ahead of the curve, you benefit. Thank you. Keep on going.
Yeah. So that means like being a couple steps ahead, that meant I could test out of a couple things. So for example, right, sixth grade, I got to test out of sixth grade math, and I got to go straight to, I want to say it was, I want to say I got to go straight into algebra one.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say I tested straight into algebra one, or was it seventh grade math? I forgot. It was something ahead, but since I was a step ahead, right, that meant I took like algebra. That meant I had taken like geometry, algebra one and whatnot in middle school, and that meant in high school I was taking algebra two, and I was like one of the only freshmen that was taking algebra two.
So you have a lot of confidence, right? Compared with
Yeah.
the kids. Okay. And Jamie, you remember when you take the class with me on algebra, Jamie and his brother, his father bring him to my office. He was doing college algebra when he was in the tender age of 7th grader. 7th or 8th grader, he's doing college algebra. He worked individually with me. I was blaming you for not catching up because you are not doing college algebra, but you're already doing algebra 1 and algebra 2. It's totally unreasonable, right? It's totally unreasonable. But once you're in your high school, yeah, you are doing a lot of better. So I'm very glad for that experience. Okay, and also we do the classical literature. What classical book you guys doing in Marine High School? One book, you name that to me if you
remember. I'll be honest, we really didn't do like classical books.
Yeah.
I would say like the English there was like it's a lot different. I don't actually have like a word that I could put on to describe it.
That's right.
But I'll just say it was different to say the least. But getting back to like the topic that was being focused, I think it's based on the fact that I was able to get ahead and get more credits than everybody else. That's how I got to be in the position to graduate as the valedictorian. So
yeah, and you did a wonderful speech. How many times you practice your speech?
Not enough. I'll be honest. I didn't practice that enough.
Okay, now going back.
Pretty
wonderful. But you did a wonderful speech because your mom gave that speech to me. I said, I hope I can do it. Yeah, but of course, my students can be, all of them supposed to be better than me. Okay? All of my students, your job is to be 5 times, 10 times better than your teacher. Then that's my achievement. Now going back to computer science. To my understanding, your wonderful father studied computer and your mom studied history from Zhongshan University. So both of them, one studied humanity, one studied computer science. Did you get the computer science idea from your dad? Is your programming you learn by yourself and or from your dad, or you did extra class? How? Why?
Uh, I'll be honest, I always like really liked the thought of like hacking.
Oh yeah, okay.
Uh,
That's hacking.
so so I don't know, just like something about like being able to hack,
Mm-hmm.
but do it where I don't do something stupid and get arrested. Always sounded like a good idea to me. So,
Okay.
I just thought, why don't I take a punt at cybersecurity, right? And so
Oh,
that's what led me down into the to the
mm,
pathway that I'm taking right now.
wow. And UT Austin have a very strong cybersecurity department
Yeah, pretty
and
good.
also AI. So cybersecurity is very big thing, not only for country, but every big company have a cybersecurity issue because these hackers ask for ransom money, right? So you work as a hacker side, right? You understand their mentality. Right now, you're doing oh, Evan, do you remember that dude called Evan? Ivan Long, this white guy who worked with me when you were there, and he's going to UT Austin the same year like you, and he's a super intelligent kid. He got a 40-acre scholarship, and he's studying in UT cybersecurity. I need to get you guys together, the old classmates in UT. Go to the restaurant is on me. How about we shoot that for this this December. Let's do that in Houston. Okay. And
Mm.
he was a very smart kid, super smart kid, Duke Academy talent scholarship. He also got 40-acre scholarship, and his parents want him to do cybersecurity, and he have a very good connection. So I want you guys to be connected. And other of your UT classmates who used to study with me. So congratulations. Oh, you never told me that part of the story. So you have a very strong motivation using your hacking skill and the mentality study cybersecurity. Tell me about UT Austin. Did you socially adjust to the environment? Do you have friends and anything fun other than class? Is the study stressful or not? Is the study
Okay.
in UT Austin? This is your second year, right? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me
Um,
about how did survive and prosper in UT?
I'll start by saying like definitely it's different because the high school that I went to is like quite small. It's just about 350 people
Mhm.
that go to the school there, and obviously UT campus size is like 40,000 students and whatnot. So it's definitely like a big jump, but I think socially there's like a lot of opportunity. It's just
Mhm.
about what kind of opportunities you want to take, right? So I found it to be a little challenging, because obviously, dang, I don't know how to put it, but it's just trying to find your people, trying
Yes,
to find like the people that
your tribe,
you
your own
you
tribe.
want to like connect with. That's that's definitely kind of a challenge.
Cool.
But besides that, I'll say most people there are pretty warm and accepting of each other. There's obviously a lot of smart people, and there's obviously a lot of people with big dreams and aspirations.
Wonderful.
What I will say though is that there are definitely like a lot of people that are not so great, and I'm only not the fact that they're not so great. It's just I'll say they need to take care more of themselves, and that's
That's
like a thing that I've noticed in college that a lot of people they don't take the best care of themselves. You know, it's like you'll definitely hit a brick wall. You know, just studying all day.
mhm,
You know, so it's definitely and obviously like you know mental health has obviously become like such a huge like talking point
that's
in
right.
the world. So it's really just you know I would say like it's definitely just put yourself first before others.
You are right.
And so I've definitely come to accept that you know I need to put myself first before others, even if it means you know like missing out on let's say like a big party or whatnot, you know. But you just have to realize you know there's always like a party every day of the week, you know. Just because you miss one doesn't mean it's like the end of the world. So
That's right. Oh, I'm very glad you mentioned one thing which called the mental health challenge. Give me some rough idea because I'm too old to understand. What percentage of college students in UT Austin do you think that actually struggle even a little bit with the mental health challenge and issues? Give me a number.
um dang, that's I would probably put a finger around maybe 20% maybe. And that's like just a rough estimate.
That's
Cause
exactly what I'm thinking. 20.
because I also think it depends on depends on a lot of other extenuating factors. Because like
Yes,
for example, right, like in the computer science industry, you know, there's been it's like kind of hard to find an internship or a job.
yes.
So you know, some people might be mentally battling that, right? But also you could take some people, you know, they just broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, you know, they could be
Mhm.
battling something like that, you know.
I
So
know.
I think it always depends on, you know, I think it always depends.
Wow, you're reminding me of my college years, and I don't want to even remember that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up. So the final question for you is, if you leave some message to your little brother James, give him advice on how he deal with 3.5 years of high school, what advice you want to give to little James, who usually probably listen but don't listen to you, but he listened to me? I will make sure your message sink into his mind. Now, say it very clearly. What's your advice to James, and what you advice for you to give that to me, how to educate your little brother? As a big brother, you have a big responsibility. Go ahead.
Okay, I would say I would say um don't be scared to take risks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared to talk to people.
Yes.
Um you'll always be able to you'll always have the time to do things that you want,
Mm-hmm.
but the things that you don't, you sometimes just have to sacrifice it for the benefit of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Um I'll always stay in the pursuit of knowledge, and sometimes you just need to like take a step back and just like enjoy life. Yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Wow. I would say, James, William, I'm very proud that I met you when you were young and observe firsthand on the driver's seat your progress. And you grow up to be a responsible, strong, physically, mentally, socially young man, and you're already on the great track. And I'm going to use your experience to educate other kids, especially your wonderful little brother who listen to you, but who don't listen to you. So we conclude my interview. Now I'm going to stop recording and Q&A session. Q&A session.